Yo. Analytics off the chain, all the channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. I'm a headliner.
Yo, what is going on, Headliner Nation? Welcome back to the Fantasy Headliners. Kyle here to talk about our NFC Championship preview, an all-Cali event with San Francisco and the LA Rams going up against each other. If you're new here, the Fantasy Headliners, hit the subscribe button for me. Stick around, leave a comment down below, and let me know what you think about the game, final score, outcome, all the good stuff, and make sure that you hit that like button for me as well. But before we jump in to all the good love and information, I got to remind everybody that we got ourselves one banger of a giveaway for the NFL playoffs. What are we going to be giving away, ladies and gentlemen? Toss it up on the screen. We've got an autographed Justin Herbert helmet and an autographed Austin Eckler jersey. Look at that bad boy. That's a full-size helmet, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking mini helmet. We're talking full-size. I think you can wear it watching the game if you want to. I wouldn't. Keep it safe, okay? But anyway, we're working with our friends over at Pristine Auction to be giving away these two great items. At the end of the playoffs, we're going to be picking a winner during the Super Bowl. How do you become eligible, though? Well, you've got 4 opportunities to get yourself a chance to win one of these items. Now, first and foremost, you can't be entered at all if you don't head to Pristine Auction. Create a free account. Use code word Headliners when you do it. It's free. You don't have to spend any money. Just go over there, create an account, Headliners. But let me tell you, you'll end up spending money at some time. Why? Because they have so many great things there, okay? So make sure you go create that free account, promo code Headliners. That's going to get you entered and make you eligible for this drawing. But if you want to add potentially 3 more options, hey, you have 3 more chances. Sign up for a new account over on Prize Picks using promo code Headliners and make a $20 deposit. That's going to give you another opportunity. Become a member here on YouTube. If you look down below this video, there's a little join button, or there's in the description a link to the membership page. Use either of those. Become a member, $4.99 a month to get a bunch of extra off-season content, emojis, all that good stuff. It's awesome. Or you can pre-order a 2022 Fantasy Football Draft Guide. Now, hey, let's just keep in mind, if you've already done any of these things, you've already been entered. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about, though. Where are we going? California knows how to party. Okay, we're not going to sing anymore, but the 49ers and the Rams having themselves a big old California party representing the NFC and the NFC Championship game. And the last time they played in Los Angeles, San Francisco fans absolutely packed SoFi and made it sound like a home game for the 49ers. Now, there's been a little bit of talk that the Rams are trying to limit ticket sales to the greater Los Angeles area, and you can only buy them based on your zip code. So I would say that they're pretty worried that San Francisco fans are going to invade SoFi for this big game. This is going to be the nightcap. It's going to be the later game, 6:30 kickoff in LA. No weather to talk about because, well, it's inside. We don't need to worry about that. Is it inside, covered? I don't know if you'd really consider it inside, but whatever. So, season ranks for these teams. The Los Angeles Rams end up coming in with the better record, 12-5 on the season, while the San Francisco 49ers ended up finishing 10-7. Now, if you look at it on paper, just by the ranks here that are on the screen, San Francisco is the better team. 7th in rushing offense, 12th in passing offense, which kind of caught me off guard. I did not realize they ended up finishing that high. 7th in rushing defense and 6th in passing defense. Now for the Los Angeles Rams, again, passing offense and rushing defense have been really good, but the rushing offense and the passing defense kind of been so-so. So again, when you look at these teams on paper, San Francisco looks to be the better team. They look to be the team that is going to win this matchup. And this season, they actually won 2, and we'll talk about that here in a second. For injuries concerns, right now, for some reason, my picture is covering up Deebo Samuel's name. I don't know why. My apologies. I don't mean to be covering him up, but, you know, I I had to change his position up a little bit too because, I'm not going to list him as a wide receiver. I'm going to list him as the do-it-all magician, Deebo Samuel. That's what position he's going to be playing. But Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, both of them kind of beat up. There seems to be no concern about these guys playing, though. They should be good to go on Sunday. For the Los Angeles Rams, Joe Noteboom, who came in for Andrew Whitworth last week, they're beat up on the offensive line right now. That could be a huge issue. Trent Williams missing could be a huge issue. Deebo Samuel. These are four really big names here. Now, Noteboom really isn't going to be like your Whitworth is going to be worse to miss than what Joe Noteboom would be. However, there's some pretty big names here and some guys that if they aren't 100% healthy could really impact the outcome of this game. Now, some storylines to watch for this game. The 49ers won both of the regular season matchups against LA. They won 31-10 at the beginning of the season and 27-24 in the final week of the season. What do the Rams need to do? Well, first and foremost, Matthew Stafford doesn't just need his A game. He just doesn't need his A+ game. He needs his A++ game. Matthew Stafford, he doesn't have to be perfect, but he has to be the best that he has ever been so far stepping on a football field. He has got to be 100% locked in on Sunday. No mistakes throwing the football. Finding the open receivers, not trying to fit passes into guys. He's got to be on his game because any turnovers, any big conversions that he does, whatever it may be, getting the ball back to San Francisco and not capitalizing is going to be a huge difference between winning and losing here. So Matthew Stafford, he's got to be really good this weekend. He is going to drive this team. He's got to show everybody. The talent has always been there, okay? He's got to show it, though. Now, something else that they need to do, they got to make San Francisco one-dimensional. They really do. And by one-dimensional, I don't just mean throwing the football. I mean they need to make them one-dimensional in the fact of they've got to throw the football and they've got to throw it to somebody other than Deebo Samuel, all right? Make Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle work for it. Those two guys absolutely have to be guys that you take out of it, okay? Deebo Samuel's got to be taken out of the equation, okay? Got to be taken out of the equation. And then Ayuk and Kittle are both going to have to step up in his place. However, if you make them one-dimensional, make them throw the football, and you try to take as much Deebo Samuel away as possible, now you're kind of taking that safety blanket away from Jimmy Garoppolo. And now you're forcing him to play the quarterback position a little bit differently than I think what he is good at. Now for the Los Angeles Rams moving to San Francisco, what's San Francisco going to have to do? Well, Jimmy G can't be Stafford, okay? I don't want to see Jimmy Garoppolo go out here trying to be Matthew Stafford, trying to go toe-to-toe with him, trying to be Muhammad Ali and just stand right there and boom, boom, dance around him. No. I need him to go out there and just be Jimmy Garoppolo. Manage the game. Keep him in short yardage situations. Don't make any mistakes. No turnovers. Find your open guy. And on top of that, kind of that second point that's kind of actually a 1B to this is keep the offense off the field and wear the defense down. And what I'm talking about there is keeping LA's offense off the field and wearing down their defense. Long, drawn-out drives, making the defense stay out there as much as possible. Those little short yardage gains, hitting Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle for a few yards here and there, hitting your running backs out of the backfield, finding Deebo Samuel. They just draw it out as much as possible, because the one thing that happens with this Rams defense, and you see it, they get frustrated quickly sometimes. And when you keep them out there and you just keep pecking at them and pecking at them and pecking at them and a first down and a first down and a first down, they're going to start to get frustrated with themselves, and it's going to kind of get them out of that mindset. They're going to start, your defensive linemen are going to start pinning their ears back and just going after the quarterback instead of really being mindful of their gaps. Jalen Ramsey's going to try to do too much. When those things happen, that is going to allow San Francisco to take advantage of them. So they have to be they have to be on point the entire game. But if San Francisco can just dink and dunk them, just really not go for that big, okay, we don't have the katana out, all right? We're not going to go whoosh, right away. We don't want to, because we don't want to miss them. They're agile. They're right back at us. Boom. Okay. We need to keep stabbing them, right? Keep stabbing them, stabbing them, stabbing them, stabbing them. Getting a little dark there, but you get what I mean, right? That's what San Francisco is going to have to do to beat this LA Rams team. Now let's talk about some prize picks, ladies and gentlemen, and some people you should be taking a look at there. Tyler Higbee, I'm going to take the under of 37.5 receiving yards. San Francisco has allowed the third fewest receiving yards to opposing tight ends this season, and they allowed the fifth fewest receptions. Now, Tyler Higbee, the last time these two teams played, Tyler Higbee beat San Francisco for 2 touchdowns. I don't expect that to happen again this time. But what I do expect to happen is OBJ to go over the 47.5 that he is currently set at. The reason for that being is, again, Cooper Kupp is going to end up getting a lot of attention this game, all right? And this is a really good San Francisco defense, all right? One thing San Francisco is going to do, they're going to make Matthew Stafford move his feet. They're going to make him get out of the pocket. They're going to keep that pocket from being clean on a consistent basis. All right. Now, if Cooper Kupp's going to be getting more and more and more looks, and they're going to be paying extra attention to him, OBJ is going to need to step up. And if OBJ can step up, that's going to be really big for this Rams offense. And that's why I'm going to go the over with him, because I really think that he could end up being a guy that you look at after this game is over with and say, man, the Rams could not have done it without OBJ this week. Now, in terms of a prediction on who's going to win the game, I will admit, I'm going to be fully honest with you, Headliner Nation, because I always am, okay? A little bit of a bias here, because I want to see Matthew Stafford get his ring, all right? As a Lions fan who watched his career just whittle away and him never get the respect he deserved, adding a ring to the collection will help solidify his career when it's all said and done and reinforce some of these gaudy numbers that, honestly, people just don't talk enough about with Matthew Stafford, all right? I want to see him get his ring. I'm trying to pull my bias out of it, though, okay, and really talk about what's going to happen here. With that being said, Kyle Shanahan is one of my favorite NFL coaches, all right? Kyle Shanahan, I've always been a huge believer that Kyle Shanahan is one of the top, not only offensive-minded coaches in the league, but one of the best coaches on the league. And the job that he has done in San Francisco since coming to San Francisco has been absolutely amazing. I mean, there has been some down years, but there's been years where they've dealt with injuries and just, you know, he's been able to kind of get them back going again after that. And once they're healthy, they look really good. I don't think anybody really expected them to be in this position that they are right now. When you look at the NFC West, you knew the Rams were going to be really good, right? You knew that Seattle still had Russell Wilson and DK and Tyler Lockett, and maybe the defense wasn't as good, but they can compete, and you know they ended up having just an awful year. And we knew Arizona was an upstart team, and they were coming off a better season, but they came out just absolutely firing. And the thing that San Francisco did this year is they were just themselves. They were just themselves. And they dealt with a lot of injuries at the running back position. They dealt with some injuries on defense and getting guys in and off the field. And Kyle Shanahan weathered that storm, and this team weathered that storm. And even though everybody all season long talked about Arizona and Los Angeles, San Francisco sat right there and they kept saying, we can get in. And now that they're in, they're playing some of the best football that they have all season. And it kind of goes back to that getting hot at the right time, all right? It doesn't matter what happened earlier in the season, though, okay? It matters what happens now. And I think you look at San Francisco and you say that, right? You said that last week up against Green Bay. Doesn't matter what the rest of the season has been. It matters how good they're playing right now. But I think you have to look at that. For those of you that are sitting out there, San Francisco, will we beat LA twice this year? Come on, all right? That was earlier in the season. Yes, one of them was just a couple of weeks ago. But there's something a little bit different about this game and where they are right now in terms of Los Angeles. I think Los Angeles played some letdown games this year because they knew that they were good. They knew that they were good. And there was just some times where it was like, kind of going through the motions, not looking that great. Now they're here. They're one win away from going to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford's wanting to get there. Sean McVay's wanting to get back there. A lot of these guys on defense are wanting to get back there. This is a team that is going to bring their A game this week. So, after looking through all of it, my prediction for this week are the LA Rams taking this game 27-24 over San Francisco. I think what we see is a low-scoring first half. A really big defensive first half. Maybe we head into the half with like a 10-10 tie or something like that. And these offenses, they'll keep breaking down the defense. And then that second half, things are going to open up a little bit. People are going to take advantage of some things. And I think LA seals it with a last-minute field goal to put themselves ahead. I'm going to go with them to win this game because, in all honesty, when you talk about these games and kind of what separates them, I'm going to pick Matthew Stafford over Jimmy Garoppolo. As much as I love Kyle Shanahan, I'm going to take Sean McVay. I'm going to take Sean McVay in this matchup. Okay, not overall. But I'm going to take Sean McVay in this matchup to make the right adjustments to get them to where they need to be, because I feel like that Sean McVay on offense is just working with the ability to be a little bit more two-dimensional than what Kyle Shanahan might be able to be this week. And that is why I'm kind of going with this LA Rams team. 27-24. This is going to be a tough one and a really, really close one, though. If San Francisco wins this, I wouldn't be shocked at all. They could obviously come out with a win here. We'll see what ends up happening. But hey, that's why they play the game. That's why it doesn't matter what it says on the screen. But ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you're new here to the Fantasy Headliners, you're going to have to hit that subscribe button. You're going to have to stick around for all the great off-season content. Hey, do me a favor. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this game, what you think the score will be, who the winner will be, what kind of is going to decide the outcome, all that good jazz. And then, hey, hit that thumbs up button as well and leave a like for me. I'm going to get out of here, though, ladies and gentlemen. I won't see you next week. I'll be out of here next week on vacation, so all of you stay safe and healthy. I'll catch you all in a couple of weeks. Peace out. Love y'all. See you later.
Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. Y'all stuck on third down. Your content's plain Jane. Headliners on top now. We gonna move and change. Podcast off the rip. Draft guide, so legit. Fantasy world, our game tight. You know we about that chub life. Stuck in a rut and you need some motivation. Head to the channel for this Headliner Nation.
I'm a headliner.